So you're looking to dip your toe into the short-term rental market space here in Manhattan, and you wanted to figure out if it's a good idea, bad idea, or who the heck knows what kind of idea it is. Today in this video, I want to talk to you about why investing in short-term rentals is an absolute game changer here in the Manhattan market. Let's go ahead and jump right in, and I'll show you why this is one that you really need to pay attention to. What's going on, everybody? Kyle Powers here, Haven Real Estate Group at eXp Realty, your Manhattan real estate expert. I'm here to help you out and kind of to walk you through the whole process of a short-term rental and why we absolutely love buying short-term rentals here in this town, and why my wife and I help people buy and sell short-term rentals and working out this whole area. She does the management, I help them buy them, I help them sell them, I help them get taken care of there, and she takes care of the design and the management piece of this. It is an absolute game changer, and what you'll find here in Manhattan is there's a whole market or a whole opportunity for you to do better with short terms than what you will in long terms. First thing I'm going to talk to you about is the rising demand of short-term rentals in the Manhattan area. I'll just tell you right in general, the rising demand of short-term rentals, I'm going to almost say nationwide, almost worldwide too, is rising. And here's the thing, is that there is a ton of different types of people that come into town every single year and every single month and every single week, and they're all coming for different reasons. You know, typically everyone always thinks, oh, well, surely football season's the only time you're full, right? Yeah, I mean, that is our busy time. That is the most demand time. But I will tell you that we stay 70% full across the year. And that's unreal and almost unheard of. And it's not just for football. It's not just for basketball. I know basketball is a little shy right now on our record, but it's for all the things that we don't think about. Manhattan has a lot of conferences that come here. Manhattan has parents' weekends. So whether it's mom's weekend for the sororities, dad's weekends for the fraternities, or vice versa, it doesn't matter. There's a lot of opportunity because those parents can't go stay in the sororities with their kids. They have to have a place to go. And instead of staying at a hotel room and having that space, which don't get me wrong, hotels are great, but having a consistent place that they can come to and call home for the weekend is so much more of an opportunity for people that are looking to not necessarily get that hotel feel. They want to, it becomes more common. Like, don't get me wrong, I love hotels for what they have and the consistency that they have. But I know when my family and I travel, we're Airbnbs. My wife calls me kind of a prima donna when it comes to Airbnbs, but I'll tell you, you can't sit around a table. You can't hang out and have drinks and play cards and do all that kind of stuff in a hotel room. You can. It's just back like you're in college and it isn't as much fun, especially when you've got young kids running around. You've got all kinds of stuff. My wife and I, we went to Kansas City a couple years ago with my brother-in-law and his family. And the kids stayed upstairs, played, had a blast, totally safe. They're in the same house with us, had an absolute fantastic time while we're sitting downstairs playing cards and just kind of BSing and having a good time. You don't get that with a hotel. So I will tell you that the rising demand for short-term rentals almost anywhere in the world is going to be the reason why I would recommend you jump on this train. I will tell you too, there's always different nuances to a short-term rental. So having that, and the rising demand here in Manhattan is also there because every single game day weekend, there's not near enough hotel rooms in this town. Next thing I want to talk to you about is why short-term rentals are outperforming traditional investments. And what I'm going to tell you with traditional is long-term versus short-term. There's a ton of different ways or ton of different benefits that I see in this one. Traditional, long-term, we bought a property here in Manhattan. It's a duplex, both two sides of it, right? We took one and we completely remodeled it. New cabinets, new floors, new paint, new. And we started renting that one out short-term. We took the other one, granted, not updated, not all taken care of, but it was the exact same mirror image of the other one, and they're side-by-side duplex. We were getting $800 a month on this one on long-term. We literally doubled what we were getting, and we had less wear and tear on the house, less opportunity for the house to get just totally trashed because of pets or parties or anything else when it comes to that. We were doubling our investment. And I'm saying doubling our investment, and that's just the financial dollars on it. I'm not even talking about the fact that we had 3 or 4 people staying in this property, and the difference though is that they're there for 2 or 3 nights at a time. They're there for 30 days. I mean, you do the math on that, just the wear and tear in general is going to be a completely different opportunity for somebody to kind of go through that one. This tenant, what they had 2 pets in there. They would literally put their pets downstairs and they would lock them in the basement and they'd leave them there all day. When I tell you the smell of pet feces and everything else that comes with that came out of that one, it was to the point that we were starting to get complaints on our short-term rentals that we were like, okay, we gotta move on. And so we got her out of there and got all that stuff. But that's my point though, is that the wear and tear on a house from somebody living in it every single day, every single night, every single moment of time is so much more than having this one, than having somebody in there for 2 weekends at a time or 2 days out of a weekend. And then the other thing with that is that everybody that comes through Airbnb, they get graded on whether or not they can rent again. If they don't get that 4 or 5-star reviews, then they start getting people that say, oh, well, these people really aren't good people to rent to. So I see that. I see both sides of that. This one is definitely a set it and forget it, and as long as it's rented, you're good. This one is more of is not passive income, so do not get that twisted. It is definitely not passive, but there's less wear and tear on the property, and you're in there every single time, or somebody's in there, whether it's your cleaner or maintenance or you or whoever it is, you're in that property after every single stay, turning it over, making sure it's good, and getting everything clean, getting it fixed, getting everything taken care of, and you catch it immediately. So there's a much more of an upside on the short-term rental side of it, just from wear and tear, and then also from the dollars and cents, because you're able to charge per night, not per month. The other side of that with that is that your nightly rates can go up and down. If you've got graduation coming up, that's a big one, right? And everything in the area is full, well, you can jump your rates a little bit. It isn't a normal $60 a night. Now it's, $200, $300, $400 a night that you have the opportunity to capitalize on that. And it's not gouging anybody. It's literally the supply and demand of it, right? So that's a good opportunity for you on short-term rentals as well. So one of the big complaints, or one of the big things that we have issues with people, is that well, I shouldn't say issues. What we have with people that are coming in or looking at is, oh, everybody's buying up all these houses and we can't afford housing here anymore, blah, 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 blah. I hate to break it to anybody that's watching this, and I'm sorry if that's you that says this. Short-term rentals are not making that. Are people coming in and buying those that could be single-family homes and things that way? Yes, they are. Absolutely. I'm probably one of them. We own a handful of them here in town. But the thing with it is that short-term rentals are helping our economy. This is my personal opinion. People are coming in and let's just pick a game day weekend, right? They are coming in on a Friday night, and they're going to go out to eat where? They're going to go out to Aggieville. They're going to go out to our local restaurants, our local bars on points. They're going to go spend money, bringing money into the area. And if they didn't have a place to stay, my family, my wife's family, they do this. They literally, if they don't have a place to stay, they go home. And so they don't stay and hang out. They go home, and that money's gone now. But if they have a place to stay, they need a place to eat. They're going to probably buy some K-State gear. They're probably going to go out for coffee the next morning. I mean, whatever it is, right? There's retail opportunities for the economic development with that. Homeowner or short-term rental owners are still paying taxes. We're still paying property taxes. We're still paying the utilities. Like, we're still owning and paying that opportunity with that. But giving the opportunity to have that economic growth or economic injection into our economy from other people outside of this town is a great opportunity. And the other piece of that is, now let's think about it as not just short term. Let's think about a contractor coming in and fixing up or building out the MBAF or the stadium or anything like that. Somebody comes in from out of state and they need a place to stay. Well, guess what? They don't want to sign a year lease. Nobody does. If they're only going to be here for 4 months, why in the world would they sign a 12-month lease? So they don't want to, they need to have a place to stay, and nobody wants to live in a hotel for 4 months. Well, great. Let's give them an opportunity to have a medium-term rental, which ironically enough is a short-term, and we get a monthly rate where it's furnished. They take care of it. We've done this plenty of times. And again, those people are buying gear. They're eating out. They're buying at the grocery stores. They're using our economy and injecting cash and income into our economy. And so having this opportunity or having these options for short-term rentals is probably one of my favorites, because we get to be able to give that. Heck, I have somebody right now. They come into town this weekend, and they're like, hey, our house isn't, we don't have our stuff, we don't have this, or do you have anything open for us? Absolutely we do. We don't want to sign a lease. We want to have you in there for 5 days. We're good to go, and you just take care of it, and we'll pay a cleaning fee when you're done. Cool. So he's going to be here eating out. He's getting ready. He bought a house. He wants to have a bed for his family and everything else that way. Well, this is an opportunity that he can do that. Instead of paying the $200 a night that it is for a hotel room or whatever it may be, this is an opportunity to capture that and to keep them in our specific economic bubble. Next thing is overcoming the common misconceptions that a short-term rental is too risky. I'll be the first one to tell you, we were that way. I was that way. My wife pushed us into doing that. She always does. She always pushes me into doing things that I don't necessarily want to, but I love it because now we're going full tilt on it, right? Like, we love short-term rentals because it actually is less risk. And for the reasons of, we are in there, we have the, we have the opportunity that we go in and we have management, we have guest screening, we have insurance, we have all of these things there. And yeah, you're going to catch some people. Like, we had somebody the other day, it was New Year's Eve. They were here. They partook in a little, probably too much, had some sort of a fight and punched a hole in the wall. You know, that happens. The cool thing with this one is that we were able to find it literally the next day because they moved out of the house. And we were able to find it. We charged them the $350 it's going to cost to fix it and move on with our day. Like, that stuff happens, right? If it were a long-term rental, we probably never would have heard about that until either they would have tried to fix it on their own, or they would not have told us, or they would have been like, oh yeah, that was there. And if you don't keep good enough records, which I never did as a property manager, but if you don't keep good enough records, you don't know if that was there or not. You don't know when that happened. Hell, they probably don't know when that happened because it would have happened so long ago. So the risk, I actually feel like the risk is less. Now, there are slower times that's part of it. Like right now in the winter, this is a slow time for us. And having the funds to weather these storms, if you will, is going to be very important for you to be ready for. But you need to be able to do that and just kind of plan for that. And I think that's part of everything. And again, we're going into some different markets and stuff, but that's the big piece of it, is making sure that you are mitigating your risk as best as possible. But that's by doing your screenings, having your insurance, having that professional cleaning done every single turn, and making sure that the house is in good condition every time we turn it over. Because there are times, like I said, that it doesn't happen. So it needs to be, you need to have that opportunity to really kind of play into that. So I would argue that it is not as risky as a tenant that's long-term, and yeah, there's a slow leak behind the wall and they don't ever notice it. So now by the time they move out, it's thousands and thousands of dollars worth of mold work that needs to be mitigated and replaced and taken care of, because they're not looking at that house like you would look at that house. They're looking at that house as I'm going to hang my hat. I'll tell them eventually, and they forget about it. Now you get to check it as the owner, as the manager, or whoever you want to be in that role, that you have the opportunity to really go in and take care of your property and look out for your investments. So you get more of a close eye on it. So it depends on what kind of an investor that you want to be with that. Short-term rentals are changing the face of real estate here in the Manhattan area, and I want to make sure that you have the opportunity to take advantage of this investment. And I want to be here for you. And so the higher profitability, the higher demand, the community benefits, the many different arrays of things that we are able to do with these short-term rentals, I think is very important to keep in mind when you're going through this. So if you are thinking about investing in short-term rentals or just anything along the lines, or just have questions about it, put it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. I want to be your short-term rental expert, your short-term rental guide through the Manhattan area. And I will tell you, my wife and I, and my business partner, we own 7 different properties here in the area, and I highly recommend it. It is a fantastic spot to be. We love Manhattan. It's a great opportunity to invest, and we also want to be able to kind of help you grow your portfolio and diversify. There's nothing saying you can't have long-terms and short-terms. We have a one-stop shop here with my group, with my wife and myself, and we can get you taken care of on everything and anything in between. We've done it countless times for my clients. So if you have any questions, or if there's anything that you want to talk to me about, I want to be your resource for the investing in this area. My phone number, my personal cell phone number is 785-477-5485. My email is kyle@homesforsalemhk.com. And I don't care if it's buying, selling, investing, or anything real estate related. I want to be your resource for the short-term rental market. As always, if you do enjoy this content, go and hit that subscribe button, go and hit that little bell so you get notified of any future content, and give us that like, because it does help us grow the channel. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, we'll see you later.